Charles in Southwest Louisiana. This is Mayor Nic Hunter. Thank you for joining us for the 5th installment of Community Connection. And a reminder for the year 2020, we are laser focusing in on job availability right now within Southwest Louisiana, or some quick turnaround job training and workforce development. We have a lot of individuals in our community that are going through some very trying times right now, and we're doing everything we can as a city to connect people with job opportunities. And of course, before we move forward, I want to thank our strategic partner, United Way, and remind people about the power of 211. 211 is a great tool for anyone in Southwest Louisiana. If you find yourself in need of services, dial 211 and you'll be able to talk with someone who could connect you with a local agency that might be able to help you attain some of those services. And also our fiscal partner, Hancock Whitney, our sponsor for Community Connection. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about public safety. And I am honored to have a couple gentlemen who are dedicated public servants for the city of Lake Charles. With me today is Sergeant Larry Moss with the Lake Charles Police Department and Captain D.C. Carter with the Lake Charles Fire Department. Let's start off with Sergeant Moss. Sergeant Moss, thank you for joining. What inspired you to become a police officer? And if you don't mind, just talk a little bit about your history and longevity with the city of Lake Charles.
All right, sir. I probably, like most people that were interested in law enforcement specifically, and fire as well, I wanted to help people. I wanted to have a job where I could have an impact on my community and give back. It's something I was very lucky. That's what all I've ever wanted to do since I was a small child. So it just took a little while for me to get to do it here, where I grew up. Been with the city in my 18th year, and it's the best job. For me, it's the best job on the planet. I'm sure DC's going to say the same thing about the fire department. But I absolutely believe it's the most rewarding, positive impact job you can have on our community.
DC Carter, same to you.
Okay, it's pretty much the same. I grew up, you see your fireman, you see the policeman. As I graduated high school, I took the route to go to the military. And again, it was just a route to helping people and just wanting to serve your community. Came back from the military, got introduced to the fire department. Been on 20 years now. So again, like he said, I agree that both jobs, civil service job wise, are probably the best jobs you can have. And the longevity of it, it's a career job, things like that.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Certainly, I know with a public safety job like y'all have, it truly is a calling. It's not just a job, it's almost a vocation, it's a way of life. Sergeant Moss, if you were sitting down across the table from someone and they just said to you, hey, I think I might want to become a police officer, what would be some of your first comments to that individual?
I think for our particular line of work, I think educating yourself on what the job is actually all about. I think public safety sector runs into some issues sometimes with television and movies and media portraying police officers in a certain aspect, and some of that's positive. But sometimes folks don't really understand what the job completely entails. So if you have the opportunity, if you know police officers, especially with the Lake Charles Police Department, you're interested in that area, contact them, find out what the job's all about. You may be very surprised what a police officer's day-to-day routine is. And if it's something that you feel in your heart, and you just said it, Mr. Mayor, if it's a calling, if you're being called to that, then this is a prime opportunity in the history of Lake Charles for you to become a police officer. We're coming up on a recruiting event here very shortly.
Excellent. And Captain Carter, same to you. If you're sitting down with someone and they say, hey, I'm thinking about becoming a fireman, what would you say to them?
I would say pretty much the same thing. Make sure you know that this is what you want to do. And you probably notice that you, like Sergeant Moss said, you get caught up with what happens in TV. But just, stop by a fire station, see firemen. They would be glad to tell you how it really is. And you just take your steps from there. If it's a calling and it's meant to be, it'll happen.
Good deal. Thanks, guys. So we're obviously talking with members of Lake Charles Fire Department and Lake Charles Police Department, but this is also meant to just inform people about public safety jobs in general. And I do want to take a moment to specifically talk about steps to become Lake Charles Police Department employee or LCFD. So Sergeant Moss, you mentioned it a moment ago, but y'all do have a recruitment day coming up, correct? Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. August 29th. It's a Saturday morning. We're going to be conducting that at the Lake Charles Civic Center. You have to be there at 8 a.m. to be a part of it. It is about a 2-hour process. We start off with our physical agility testing. Those folks that complete that successfully, we hand out the myriad of paperwork you have to fill out to become a police officer, from a job application, your background screening form, your polygraph form. We give all of that. We give all the instructions to everyone in one big group. And then we generally set up interviews with about a week out from the recruiting event, and we go from there.
And I believe y'all have y'all have a Facebook page that kind of alerts people, and I'm sure there will be plenty of notifications in the media about that recruitment day.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We try to here. We're kind of in the home stretch moving into it. We've gotten a lot of responses already, very positive response from the community, and we'll press forward with that as we get a little bit closer to the date with some final instructions for folks.
Okay, thanks. Captain Carter, I understand that the fire department does not have a recruitment day set in stone right now, but just talk to me on an annual basis about how often that happens and how someone could make sure that they're staying aware of when the next recruitment day would be, or next recruitment would be for the fire department.
Okay, as you said, we don't have a class starting right now, but for the civil service wise, you can go to the Office of State Examiner's website and fill out an application, and they'll tell you when and where the regional testing is. You fill out, you take the test, and then your name and your grade goes into a bank or list, if you will. From there, when we're ready to hire and when we're ready to start a class, we can go to that list and just pick the names and then invite them to the hiring process for the Lake Charles Fire Department, which is agility testing and things like that.
So a good first step would be if someone goes to the state civil service website and just goes ahead and, is it an application or do they take a test?
Well, it's an application that they fill out to take the test through the Office of State Examiners.
Gotcha.
They fill out all the paperwork that they need for the test to take the test.
Excellent, excellent. And we want people to know that without being specific per department, there are availabilities right now with both the fire department and the police department. We wouldn't be having this conversation today if we did not have those availabilities. So there is the very real chance that someone may be watching this and could be the next member of the police force or the fire department. Sergeant Moss, any final thoughts about what you'd like to share with people about life as a police officer, or just what the police department means to you?
Ooh, that's an excellent way to close things, Mr. Mayor. It means the world to me. I definitely have taken the steps, I guess, the best I can myself personally to invest myself in the police department. And they always say you get back what you put in. And I think the more the individual puts into what they're doing, the more they get out. And I've gotten quite a bit out of it. I'm very, very fortunate. As far as moving forward for somebody out there that's interested, it is without a doubt, it's not your day-to-day office job. Your office is the city of Lake Charles. And you will get to see some of the most amazing things and work with some of the most amazing people there are. So if you are remotely interested, we would love to see you August 29th at the Civic Center. Take that first step in your career as a police officer here with the city of Lake Charles.
All right. Thanks, Sergeant Moss. And Captain Carter, what does the Lake Charles Fire Department mean to you?
It just like Sergeant Moss said, it means the world. A lot of pride is put into it. Just as much as you put in it, it gives back. And you can make a life from a career job. If you really love it and you really want to do it, it's just a matter of putting the time in and it will be good to you if you be good to it.
All right. Gentlemen, I want to say thanks to both of you. I think Captain Carter, you said 20 years. Sergeant Moss, you said 18 years. Thank y'all for your service to Lake Charles. And I'm speaking to you not only as a mayor, but as a dad, as a husband, as a citizen. Thanks to you guys for what y'all do. Thanks to all of our public service employees, public safety employees for what they do. And we are hopeful that perhaps someone out there is listening and might be the next police department employee or fire department employee for the city of Lake Charles or another agency. Gentlemen, thank you again for joining me today.